Okay. Let's see. This is the. How's everybody doing? Pretty good? Long day today so far, right? So, first, one thing I want to do first is make sure that Julie knows no heckling from the front row. Okay. The other thing is that many of you probably know Mike Wagner. He's my cohort on this. He wasn't able to make it out. He sends hugs and kisses for everyone, just so you all know he's there. So this was the abstract. Many of you probably read that on the site, which had you perhaps come into the room. Basically, the general idea here was this. We wanted to see if there was a way that we could increase and make a more dynamic deposition of PTC carbon paste using a release agent on the screen we wanted to cheat. We wanted to get a little more paste to come through per squeegee stroke to see if we were going to be able to get that to happen. And I will say that I have worked with that before, probably 13, 14 years ago. I worked when PV and crystal and silicon solar cell printing was huge. One of the issues you have there is you're always tackling the aspect ratio. You want that silver on the front grid line to look like the Great Wall of China. It has to stand up absolutely skinny, straight and tall and be thick and so on. And stuff doesn't come out of screen so easy to do that. So we were able to get some good results that way. So I talked to Mike about it, and he said, one of the tricky things is we might be able to get some carbon to release better from the screen, and we could make perhaps an improved heater circuit this way. So I just wanted to talk a little bit, if you're not 100% on the screen printing process, right? We have a screen. You don't print in contact, you print off contact. Screen has to be elevated up by a specific gap. Usually that distance is maybe 1/200th of the size of the inside dimension of your screen frame. And then in the process, the squeegee dives. You get a single line of contact under that blade point, and the tension of the mesh provides counterforce. So when the squeegee moves, the mesh is going to lift. So in essence, what we've done is we have right in these cavities, right? We have basically a four-sided mold, and we have allowed the substrate to become the bottom of the mold. Then the squeegee is going to become the moving top of the mold. So it's hard to get more than what the screen is built to deliver. It's not hard at all to get less if you don't have a great job of filling the cavity 100% or releasing the paste of how much you filled. 100% of that actually releases out. So screens kind of do what they do. They're built to deliver a certain amount. So hang on a second. What we tried to do here is this. Here's the general idea. We're going to use a nano surface treatment material in the print cavity right here to help get the paste to move along readily. And we're going to try to take advantage of the pseudoplastic rheology of the material. The squeegee comes along, the squeegee moves the material, it shears it. The higher the shear rate, the more the viscosity crashes. So we're going to try to take more advantage of that by using something a little bit like a slip agent to help get the stuff to come through. So that's sort of what we were looking for. I'm heavy-handed on this, aren't I? So in any case, we'll talk about experimental method. We use 506 Melanex, pretty common material in PET. So you guys are probably familiar with the specs of that. There's no need to dwell. And to print, we use an Atma 120p press. It had an off-the-shelf winged flood bar, and our squeegee was 70-90-70 triple durometer material. We set the squeegee speed at 130 millimeters a second, and the flood speed was at 200. These are not out of the ordinary settings. We just set it up in that case. So after print, the cure was done through an interchange MD8 gas-fired high-performance conveyor dryer. Temperature at 316, belt speed was 7.5 feet per minute, and so basically about a minute and a half